Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft. Which one is honestly more dead at this point, do you think?
Assassin's Creed Shadows boss claims DEI is killing game. Not only doubles down on it, but also attacks critics. That part
Wait, what? That's like a double negative. What the hell?
place writing Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed boss Mark Alexis Coty. Right when I finally learned how to pronounce Eve's Gem.
Who cares? He's French. He's probably afraid to pronounce his surname anyway.
Oh, they give me a whole new one to get wrong. Anyone want to tell me the pronunciation for this? I'd appreciate it. Admitted that the company's injection of DEI into Assassin's Creed Shadows is harming the game's potential, but declared that he plans to double down on it and even attack his critics. So yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so he said the quiet part out loud, and it just doesn't make sense. So you understand that DEI and woke stuff hurts games. We have known this for a while, considering there have been tons of games that try to do their marketing with very little DEI as possible. There's a lot of companies that are hiding and not allowing people who are known in the community as woke lunatics to talk about the fact that they have been a part of the game until its release date. We have known that these companies, to a very real extent, to a very reasonable extent, understand that all of this woke nonsense is literally seriously hurting them. But at the same time, they're still doing it, doubling down and protecting it and attacking critics. Like, make it make sense. Like, which Soros Foundation is giving this person money?
Just a little more info. That's this guy, programmer and level designer at Ubisoft Quebec, currently serving as the vice president executive producer for the entire.
So, Canada, can't this guy just go into a pod and call it a day?
Entire Assassin's Creed franchise. As reported by Eurogamer, that guy made an appearance at a BAFTA event where he shared that discussions of Ubisoft's DEI policies, quote, can influence how our games are perceived, but rather than shy away from those conversations, we should see them as an opportunity, unquote. From there, he
an opportunity of what? They also know that this garbage doesn't make money, otherwise they would not try to hide it. Like, this just makes fundamentally no sense. There's no logic in this crap. We know that doing X hurts us. We do X anyway. Double down on it, in fact, and attack the opposition and flare up the flames a little bit higher. Like, someone explain this to me as if I'm a child.
attempted
And a retarded one at that.
gaslight people in attendance by stating, quote, Assassin's Creed has always been about exploring the full spectrum of human history, and by its very nature, that history is diverse. Staying true to history means embracing the richness of human perspectives without compromise. For example,
What do you mean? I thought that Assassin's Creed is not based off of history, that it's alternative history, that you shouldn't care about what they do in their games because it's not history. How very, very peculiar it is.
in Assassin's Creed Shadows, we highlight figures both fictional, like Naui, a Japanese woman warrior, and historical, like Yasuke,
Oh shit, so it's a woman? Wow.
the African-born samurai. While the inclusion of a black samurai in feudal Japan has sparked questions and even controversy, Naui, as a fictional character, has also faced scrutiny for her gender. But just as Yasuke's presence in Japanese history is fact, so too are the.
Wait, has Naui actually faced any backlash? The only thing that we are talking about her is the fact that we did not know, is that supposed to be a twink lady boy or what exactly? Because you never know these things.
Stories of women who defied societal expectations and took up arms in times of conflict. So while both Naui and Yasuke's stories are works
You know what happened to these women? They got fucking killed fast. Also, yeah, there's not many stories where women decided to take up arms or whatever against whatever kind of garbage, and it went well. Now, probably from conflict and women, you probably have heard this phrase before. When Germany was losing World War II, the women of Germany literally did not give a shit. They said, "What do we care? when the invaders come, all we have to do is spread our legs and we're fine.
Of historical fiction, they reflect the collision of different worlds, cultures, and roles, and their inclusion is precisely the kind of narrative that Assassin's Creed seeks to tell, one that reflects the complexity and interconnectedness of our shared history.
No one tell anything about this to Albania, though.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I haven't seen anyone take an issue with Naui. All the critiques that I've seen of
Same.
AC Shadows regarding the characters is specifically directed at Yasuke, and that's
Yep.
because of the whole historical inaccuracies thing. In my opinion, this statement seems like the guy's trying to muddy the waters, so to speak. Like, he's not acknowledging the issues that people have with Yasuke and the historical inaccuracies and all that stuff. Instead, he's trying to act like people's issue with Yasuke is simply that they don't want diversity in games. And again, they use this word very disingenuously, in my opinion.
Not evil.
Then also trying to apply the same thing to Naui and then rolling both those arguments together into one disingenuous bad faith pie. It's always been diverse, he said, and this isn't new ground for the franchise. From Altair to Aveline, we've
Yeah. This guy is so fucking stupid. He thinks that this is some kind of win against the Chads or something like that. That he's socking it to the bigots because they're evil and stupid and whatnot. Yeah, Assassin's Creed has always been diverse in that sense. And surprise, surprise, no one was talking about it. No one cared because it was normal. It was reasonable. Hey, Native American setting? Wow, the main protagonist is a Native American? Who would have fucking thought? Wow. Italy? The guy's a filthy, dirty Italian who eats spaghetti? Wow, who would have ever expected that? Germany? A black protagonist? Well, that's very 2024 of you. But yeah, that's reasonable, okay? If you wanted a black protagonist, you should have went to Germany or Sweden, okay? Modern day one. And it would have been, and you would have been right on the mark, and everyone would say, yep, that's pretty much their history now. But now, you decide to go to goddamn Japan. Goddamn fucking Japan. And again, no one complained previously. It was all fine. Everyone accepted this. But now, suddenly, there's a problem. And you're saying, oh, they have always been racist and lacist?
consistently introduce protagonists from diverse racial, ethnic, and gender identities. History is inherently diverse, and so is society.
Diverse gender identities probably doesn't mean what he thinks it means, by the way.
Assassin's Creed and the stories we tell. So to be clear, our commitment to inclusivity is grounded in historical authenticity and respect for diverse perspectives, not driven by modern agendas. That's rich.
Yeah, that's rich considering everything we know about Yosuke. Bro, there is literally a 99.9% chance that Yosuke was nothing more than an exotic slave pit for Nobunaga that was effectively just a circus performer when he wanted to entertain his guests. That is reality. But Ubisoft is pretty much making him the shogun of Japan, and he's black. Okay, next thing that we're gonna find in Assassin's Creed Shadows is that there's the secret native African organization that does hip hop in their spare time, and while it's not their spare time, they're creating the Japanese society and guiding it from the shadows. Okay, that's where we're at.
Coming from the people who will literally butcher history, specifically to try and shoehorn in Yasuke as a character that they want, which is also insulting to Yasuke, by the way. They're basically saying, like, what we factually know about him is not good enough. They gotta write their headcanon and try to present it as fact. Next, he attacked critiques of Ubisoft's diversity and inclusion policies, which he is clearly an advocate for, saying, alongside these deep-rooted franchise values is our commitment to recognize and listen to legitimate criticism as an essential part of the creative process. Our community.
Here's the trick. When you say we're going to listen to criticism, that's bad because that means you have to listen to everything. But legitimate criticism is in the eye of the beholder. So, effectively, nothing. They can proudly acclaim that they are listening to criticism, but then just add the caveat of legitimate, and suddenly they don't have to listen to anything.
Community helps us grow, evolve, and deliver better games. Today, we all, however, face the added challenge of
Sure.
distinguishing between genuine feedback and attacks driven by intolerance, he said. These people are
Sure.
such creeps. They just lie about this stuff and openly gaslight. They pretend like they care about all these things, but for them, it's all about ESG score and money. The current climate is tough on our creative teams. They face lies, half truths, and personal attacks online. When the work they pour their hearts into is twisted into a symbol of division, it's not just disheartening, it can be devastating. You already know that this man is ready to get his soy latte after this speech. What keeps me going is the resilience born out of conviction that I see in our teams every day.
Actually, I would say that he's most likely going to go to a hotel and watch some bull ram of woman that he knows. But that's maybe just me.
I'm especially proud of the Shadows team for staying true to their creative vision and the core tenets of Assassin's Creed. By choosing Naui and Yasuke as protagonists, we are expanding the narrative landscape, offering new points of view that challenge established norms
How are you doing any of this?
found in many works of fiction, while staying true to the history that shaped them. At the end of the day, Assassin's Creed is not just a franchise, it's a platform for entertainment, dialogue, discovery, and
again, by the way, he affirms the idea that this is based off of history. Well, again, we had this whole debacle about Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ubisoft saying, well, they just make shit up. It's not actually, none of this is actually based on any history in the slightest. Obvious lies.
understanding. Our commitment isn't just about reflecting on the past, it's about ensuring that the stories we tell continue to unite, inspire, and challenge players, regardless of their background, and we'll continue to stand by these values because they're central to the heart of the franchise, and I believe to the future of storytelling itself.
Damn.
Ultimately, we believe that the diversity and richness of the human experience is what helps Assassin's Creed resonate with players across the globe, and we're committed to standing firm on that foundation. I find it hilarious that he talks about people all across the globe, when all across the globe, people refer to Ubisoft as Ubislop, and they've especially managed to get like the entire
True.
country of Japan to absolutely hate them. He then doubled down on this idea that Assassin's Creed is not a game, but something else altogether. Gosh, these people are lame as heck. Assassin's Creed is more than, he really says it, oh my gosh, bro. Assassin's Creed is more than just a game. It can be a platform for meaningful exploration.
Of course, it's more than just a game, because you who are the greatest cannot ever create something that is just one-dimensional. You always create something greater than the sum of its parts. And so, Assassin's Creed cannot be just a game, because that would be admitting that you are not the greatest thing in existence. And considering that's clearly not the case, well, Assassin's Creed transcends just being a game. This is what you call mentally unhinged illnesses.
And reflection wrapped in the excitement of unforgettable gameplay, and it's that fusion of creativity, diversity, immersion, and fun that continues to define the franchise and connect it with players around the globe. I might actually dive
Also, this is probably the reason Assassin's Creed sales have been steadily decreasing year over year.
cringe before I finish this article. It might really happen, but I'll try. Next, he paints himself and Ubisoft as oh yeah, I'm gonna die. It's over. He paints himself and Ubisoft as victims. Yeah, this massive corporation, they're just a bunch of victims to these individual gamers. Those gamers are so terrifying. We gotta help the corpos. This reminds me of that Sweet Baby Inc stuff that I just talked about yesterday, where they also were playing victim and were like trying to beg corporations and like government and institutions to protect them from individual gamers. I really don't know how anyone could live their lives like this. I say lame all the time with these people. I mean, it's the perfect word in my opinion. These are like the lamest people ever. How are they happy with themselves? How do they accept this as like the lives that they really live?
Well, being delusional is a really easy way to kind of skip the problems of reality.
Bunch of corpos acting like they're the biggest victims of all time. These people have so much power and money backing them. The stories we tell, the characters we create, the game worlds we build are instrumentalized by those who seek to silence creativity, to stoke fear, and incite hatred. I believe we are facing what CNN
Well, if it's not true, how can they be used as weapons against you if that's just not true?
anchor Fareed Zakaria calls an age of revolution, a time when the real conflict is not between the left and the right, but between societies that close themselves off and those that open themselves up to the world. Throughout history, it's the open societies that have always eventually prevailed.
No, throughout history, it's actually the societies that have been open that have always collapsed and died off. That is literally, by the way, absolutely 100% the historic outcome of almost exclusively everything. And even when there is doubt about that, it's probably still true, even though if you can't get a full consensus.
While there may be setbacks over the years or even decades, it is openness that has continually pushed humanity forward. Yap,
No,
yap, yap, man. Like,
not at all. But most, if not almost all of humanity's prosper has been created by war, devastation, personal greed, ambition, and hate. Not a lot of things in this world have honestly been created throughout the goodness of wanting to better humanity as a whole. Technically, the concept of even of bettering humanity as a whole is kind of completely new, technically, considering our history.
Ubisoft will do literally anything except make a good game nowadays. This echoes the selfless bravery of our Assassin's Creed protagonists. They fought for freedom, knowledge, and the right to chart their own paths, just as we, as creators, fight to tell stories that that matter in a world that grows increasingly divided. As the authors of How Democracies Die so powerfully stated, democracies crumble when good people decide to stay silent. The same is true, I think, of our creative freedom when we allow fear to stifle our voices. When we self-center in the face of threats, we hand over our power, piece by piece, until freedom and creativity both wither away. We cannot let that happen. It's time for us as creators to stand firm on our commitment to our values by telling stories that inspire, that challenge, and that help people connect. Our silence cannot become complicit. This due to some rich
That's so stupid because you're automatically implying that your truth is the greatest thing ever and it should be recognized and it's the most important thing out there, which is completely batshit insane arrogance, by the way.
corpo and he's acting like he's oppressed. How extremely obnoxious. He then issued his closing statement saying, "To our players, the ones who have stood by us, supported us, and celebrated our work over the years with enthusiasm and constructive feedback, this stance is for you. You are the heart of our journey. We create for you, and your support fuels our creativity and strengthens our resolve to keep pushing back."
Okay, I can't. Hero Hey last that I fucking didn't. 10 out of 10. Have a nice day. Bye.